Hello, crafty friends. It's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and today I'm presenting for Altenew. This is their new Craft a Flower Feathered Lilies set that I just really fell for and just had a blast making cards with. So again, it comes with this 3D embossing folder. Isn't that gorgeous? Love the lilies. Also comes with this very large stamp, and again, I said large stamp because I'm a big fan of large stamps that almost cover the front of a card base. So I was very happy with that. It also comes with this 3-piece stencil set, and again, I'll show you, how that's used. And then it also has this very large die that cuts out the entire image. I mean, how cool is that? So I started by stamping images using half of an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, not quite knowing what I was going to do with it. But again, I'm stamping with black obsidian ink from Altenew, and again, one of my favorite dark black. So I'm stamping a few images here using my Misty, and you'll see here that I didn't get ink on part of one of the leaves, so I had to go back and add a little bit of ink, and that's what I love about the Misty. And so here is the 3D embossing folder, and you'll see what I did was I took an A2 card base and I'm just, kind of embossing in the center of the image, making sure I capture the two lilies and then some of the extra leaves and things that are on there. So this is what I ended up stamping wise. I have 2 slimline card bases that I've got images on, and then I also have the half of the 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and then I've got these embossed images, and you'll see that one of them is a little bit smaller, so you'll see what I do with that later. Here is the stencil instructions, or the coloring instructions, which is just wonderful because again, on one single stencil you're going to use multiple colors. So here I am just kind of putting a base layer in here, and I'm using baby pink. And no, it's actually pink pearl, excuse me, for the base layer. And then I moved on to Coral Bliss. And so I'm kind of coloring, and you can see here that you have to mask off. I'm kind of a messy stencil type person, so I had to mask off some of the areas. Beneath that green strip is where a green leaf is. So obviously I didn't want to color it gray. I wanted to make sure that I got it in green. So again, these reusable tapes are just very, very handy. And they're just Post-it tapes, I think. So again, just kind of using the different colors here. I'm using Frayed Leaf and Forest Glades on this particular card. So again, I'm just kind of moving on. That was layer 1, which you can see there are multiple colors in there, which is fine. You just have to be prepared to mask them off if you're not a very clean colorer like I am. So again, just kind of adding some extra more depth of color in here. Ooh, I like the way this is turning out. So pretty. So again, just, it takes a little bit to kind of line the stencil set up, but this is the card I ended up with. It's a Happy Birthday card, and again, I trimmed it and mounted it on an A2 card base. So here is the finished stencil colored design once I pulled it out of the stencil. Very pretty. And I decided to use the die cut to cut this one out so that then I will put it on an A2 card base. So you kind of saw how I did that and added some splatters and ready to go. This is one of my favorite cards. I decided to let the embossing speak for itself. This is just incredible. It's got incredible depth. I love everything about it. So I put a piece of white foam tape on the back of the smaller piece, which actually was cut to match right in the center of the embossed card base. So my card base is embossed, and then I have this smaller piece that's about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch smaller around. And then here I am adding the foam tape using my double-sided tape. And then we'll go ahead and pull that off. And it's being a little stubborn here. So I will pull that off and attach it there. Kind of trying to figure out where it matches. I wanted to be sure that it matched up so it was kind of a continuous, looked like a continuous embossing. And once I got that done, I cut the Hugs die from the Hugs and Hello die set in gold. And then I also colored the stamens and the centers with a gold gel pen and also some gold paint. So here is the final card. This is the slimline card. And so again, what I decided to do was to add a little bit of interest there. So I drew some lines around the perimeter of the card, just like probably 1/4 of an inch. Just kind of wanted something a little bit different because I knew I was going to attach two of the images, one at the bottom and one at the top. So again, this is the first set that I did using the Coral Bliss and the Pink Pearl. So again, kind of playing with it here. Trying to make sure, again, it doesn't matter how much space I take up because I'm going to cut out a gray friend sentiment and add that along with a sentiment strip from the set called Sending Big Hugs. So again, just kind of trimming the excess. So there is the final card. I love the way this one turned out. Just this one's pretty darn cool. And so then here is that Hugs card. You can see where I painted the stamens with gold paint and a gel pen and added the word Hugs. That is actually, I've got 2 or 3 layers on there. And then here's another card that I didn't really cover how I did it, but it's using grape agate and baby pink and kind of just did the same thing and then added a sentiment from the set. Here is that happy birthday card, which is the first one that I did. And the happy birthday comes from the Essential Sentiments die set, which I use quite often. So again, here's all 4 of my cards again. This is Terry with Terry's Mailbox, posting for Altenew. I'm on Instagram, Blogger, Facebook, and YouTube.